The Seraphim is back, baby. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while since they've had their group come back. And also so close to their 1-year anniversary. I don't know, I wonder why they didn't have a comeback sooner. Maybe it was because of all of the solo promotions that were going on with the group and its members. But I'm really glad that they're back. They are my second alt group, maybe alt group. It's a big tie between Red Velvet and them, so I was really looking forward to it. So let's just get into the discussion. I think going into this comeback there were a lot of expectations, definitely. I mean, Anti-Fragile was probably song of the year for me. It was one of the best songs to come out of 2022. It was just such an easy listen. I remember mentioning this in my review for that as well, about how it had been a while, and it's still been a while since I've just listened to a song in like first listen and absolutely loved it. I think that happened with Anti-Fragile last year, and that happened with Cupid this year for me. So the expectation, especially for the title track, was really high. And when you have really high expectations, you have to also create room for accepting that not everyone's going to be able to live up to that. And I think that's exactly what's happened here. Now, Unforgiven is not a bad song in any definition of the word. It's a good song. Even in its first listen, you can subjectively say that it's a good song. And I know for a fact that it's going to grow on me with maybe in like 2 months or 3 months. I just won't be able to stop singing the song. But right now, I'm pretty disappointed with it. I would have liked something to just wow me like Anti-Fragile did. But like I mentioned before, it's a really high expectation to have that every song would be that good. My only worry is I hope they haven't peaked with it, you know. It would be really disappointing to think that one of the best groups of the fourth generation had peaked with their first comeback. But yeah, the song Unforgiven is not bad at all. It continues with the Latin American influence that they had in Anti-Fragile as well. You can hear a little bit of the reggae tones in it, but it is more largely Western influenced. I mean, it sounds like something out of a Clint Eastwood movie, like the background music, the soundtrack, just the entire feel of it. And I do like that. I really like that. I just don't like that there isn't enough of it. My whole thing with Le Sserafim is that I really like how experimental they are. Like, they don't have a defined genre that they fit into with their music. With Fearless, even though it wasn't my favorite title track, it was something that was very distinctive to them without being, oh, this is cookie cutter Le Sserafim. And the same thing happened with Anti-Fragile. The two songs are so different from each other, but they're still very much Le Sserafim. The thing with this is it does feel a lot like Anti-Fragile, but like the worst parts of Anti-Fragile. And it feels like a continuation of that rather than something new, which is something I'm really disappointed with as well. And even you can see it in like aspects of it, like even the styling of it. Like they continued with the whole denim trend, which I don't understand why. I mean, every comeback has its distinctive fashion, and they had the whole denim thing with Anti-Fragile. To then continue it into this comeback as well just seems a little lazy, if I'm being completely honest. And even aspects of the music video, like it starts off with the whole Western theme, them in those Western outfits, and it ends into something very similar again to Anti-Fragile. Like the last scene, the last whole third act of the song could very much be a part of the Anti-Fragile music video and we wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? Like it's very Anti-Fragile adjacent, but the worst parts of the song, like it didn't encapsulate the best parts of the song that made it so good, which is really infuriating. honestly speaking, I would have loved to see them lean into the Western influence more. I feel like they played it very safe with it. And through the Western influence, they could have kind of tapped into country music influence as well and had a more country pop Western adjacent sound, which would have been so fun because it is one of the Western music genres. Like, it's very popular in the West, but like it's absolutely unheard of in K-pop. And I would love to see someone do a, country pop K-pop adjacent sound. Even with the styling, I wish they would have leaned in more with the Western. I would have loved to see more fringe, love to see more cowboy boots, love to see more. It feels like a lost opportunity. This could have been another banger on their part. This could have been another wow moment, but it's not. It's a good song. Again, I'm reiterating this. It's a good song. It's just it's a downfall from their previous comeback, and that's what makes me really sad about it. But talking about the aspects that they slayed in was obviously the choreography. I mean, these girls, there's nothing they can do wrong. Their performance skills is impeccable. They are the best performers in the fourth generation. There is no question. There is no argument. There is no discussion. If you disagree, go argue with a wall. They are genuinely the best performers. The choreography is great. I remember reading somewhere in the press release for this or some journalist's interpretation of the choreography pre-album release, and they said that the choreography is rather easy. I mean, if either this person is like top tier dancer or I don't know, but I didn't think it looked easy at all. I thought it was very sserafim, and I feel like it's gonna catch on into a good trend. The choreography was great. Their performance, the whole pre-release party thing that they did with Mnet, that was really nice. Their performance for Unforgiven in that was pretty cool. Again, I don't like the fact that they're wearing denim. I also don't like the fact that they gave Kazuha the butterfly top. That trend is a year old. It's a year old. Get rid of it. You see what I mean? Like, they made their own identity with Anti-Fragile, and now they just conformed to everything in K-pop with this. This is really infuriating. I do feel like I need to emphasize, because I've been criticizing it for a while now, that I don't dislike the song. I think the song is great. I think their performances that are going to come out of this are going to be so much fun, and I'm going to be addicted to it just by the nature of it being a sserafim title track. But I think it is a step down from Anti-Fragile, and that is pretty disappointing. But it can't be a sserafim album discussion without us talking about the B-sides. I think they do probably the best B-sides in K-pop. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe this is my bias showing. But I love their B-sides. I genuinely enjoy how much they experiment with different genres in their B-sides, and how they have a very distinct sound but a very different sound each time as well, if that makes sense. But let's talk about their B-sides, and let's start off with the intro. You know, the sserafim, they're gonna give us a good intro, and they're gonna give us a good trailer with that intro, and they did precisely that with Burn the Bridge. The styling for that is impeccable. The styling, the whole fallen angel concept that they're doing for that is great. The sound bites for it, like the whole background music for it, is very enchanting, and it's kind of perfect for an intro. If you look at their previous intros, like I remember thinking this about the Hydra more than anything else, I think it would have been better as a song, and that is the conversation we're going to have later on in the video. But for Burn the Bridge, I think it's the perfect soundscape for an intro, and I think they do a really good job with that in the intro. The next B-side is No Return, within brackets Into the Unknown. The song just feels like something out of 2000's Disney Channel. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. And it's really disappointing to hear something like that from sserafim, because that's itzy's brand. Like, why are you trying to flop like them? This is not something I expected from them at all. Again, I do like how they experiment with a lot of musical genres, especially in their B-sides. Like, they have pop punk in No Celestial, then they have more say bubblegum pop with Blue Flame in the first mini album. They experiment a lot with their B-sides, so I'm not surprised that they went for a more early 2000s very Disney Channel pop star soundtrack, but it doesn't suit them. And maybe it's me who doesn't think that it's a soundscape that suits a group with the average age of people being like 21, right? That's the average age. Yunjin's 21, she's middle of them. Yeah, so it's, I don't know, I don't necessarily think of this and think that it's a concept sserafim can pull off. So maybe that's why I don't like it. But it also sounds like something that would play in like H&M or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very, I can see that they're trying to appease a Western audience with this. Like, this is something that, you know, you would hear out of an average American pop singer. So I can see that they're trying to appease a Western audience with this. But even then it falls really flat. I don't know. The song, it has its highs and lows. The lyrics are extremely cringy with I'm not low-key on repeat a lot. The structure of the song is also really weird because the bridge doesn't do much for it. And I don't know, it's not a good song. It's not a good song, let's leave it at that. Plus the styling, oh my god, I don't know if they got their stylists changed, because prior to this I have never criticized sserafim's fashion sense. But what the hell was the styling for this? If you watched the Mnet performance that they did for this, what was the styling? What is with those obnoxious pink outfits that don't coordinate with each other at all? I mean, if you're gonna do like a pop adjacent song, kind of retro pop adjacent if you ask me, there's so much scope with fashion. There is so much scope with fashion. The only good thing they did was able to pull off those boots well, but I wish they would have done a better job with the styling, because this was the worst styling I have seen from them so far. If you want to do like a pink adjacent thing, I get that, but like at least make it match. Like, what was Sakura wearing? Like, those two don't go together at all. And even Yunjin's outfit, like, it lacked so much structure. It was bad. The fashion so far for this has not been really good. Actually, it's been extremes. Either it's been really great or it's been really bad. So, you know, that's that. Coming to the next B-side, Eve, Psyche, and the Bluebeard's wife. I like the creativity that went into naming the song. So it takes inspiration from 3 mythological women who are essentially unforgiven by society. I think that was a really good creative direction that they went with. I think that's the only thing I like about this song. This is probably my least favorite song on the album, which is so disappointing because Yunjin's my favorite and I know she was really involved in this song. But the song samples the Hydra soundscape, and I know I said this before that I would love to see the Hydra sound be used into a song. And that is a good learning, that you don't always like what you want, because it is absolute trash here. I am so sorry. This has to be the wackiest song on the album. Like, what's with the lyrics? Get it like boom boom boom, get it like boom boom boom. It's like they didn't even put effort into this. The beat, it's not a good song. It's not well done. It lacks a wow factor to it. It also doesn't, the soundscape of it doesn't help. It sounds very dated. I feel like the 2010s soundscape of like EDM adjacent pop is almost a decade old, but it's still something that went on till like a little while. I think you heard music like this till 2016. So it's not reached the point where you can actually listen to it and be like, oh, enjoy it for its nostalgic value. but I feel like because of that aspect of it, it sounds very dated. It sounds really out of touch. It sounds really stale, if you will. It is catchy, so I might catch myself singing the boom 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 section a while, but the performance for it was really nice. Tell me why the performances for this Mnet thing that they did, they were lip syncing. Why weren't they singing live for it? At least for the showcase of the album, you should be singing live. I was really disappointed to see that they lip synced for both this and No Return, which was the only two songs I think they performed live, or the only two that we got to see them perform live. So I was really disappointed that they were lip syncing very blatantly, might I add, for that. So I didn't like that either. Next we have Fear Not, the song that is based on the fandom name, which is really cool. It's called Fear Not, and then within brackets, between you, me, and the lamppost. And I don't know the significance behind that. If someone knows, please tell me. But it's my favorite song on the album. It's got this really beautiful message that makes it really nice. It has the soundscape that I enjoy. The vocals are just so beautiful in this. It's my favorite song. I don't have anything else more to say about that. It's just my favorite song on the album. And because of the emotion behind it, it just makes it much more special to me. Then we have Flash Forward. Another forgettable song, if I have to say. Man, the B-sides have not been good this album. They haven't been as standout as the B-sides for the previous too many albums. I have to say that. Le sserafim's B-sides have always been really good, and this time they have been pretty mid. Flash Forward is just one of those. It sounds like it wants to be Blue Flame. It sounds like every other K-pop song that's trying to mimic Doja Cat's Say Me More. It sounds like essentially what Twice is doing, trying to mimic Doja Cat's song. But it is very repetitive. It is very not unique. It is a very, very, very overdone soundscape, and I expected more from the sserafim. I really did expect more. This can go into another one of those background music at H&M playlists. It's not a well done song at all. Which then brings us to the final song on the album, which is something I do enjoy a lot more than the other ones. It's called Fire in the Belly, and this is as Latin pop as it gets. Like, the moment I heard this song, the Argentina fan in me just got excited. Like, this literally sounds like something that would play in the background of an Argentina football match, or a Brazil football match, or any Latin American team's football match. It's very Shakira. It's very Waka Waka. It's a quintessential Latin American pop song, kind of made for sports. It's actually made for football. And I think this is Yeonjun's way of apologizing for the whole messy situation that had occurred. But yeah, that's the entire album in its totality. I am also gonna talk about how disappointed I am about the fact that there are only 7 new songs when we were promised a full-length album. Like, I understand having to re-record some of the songs after Garam left, right? I get that. But to have 6 already, released songs in a new album, like, just call it a repurposed album. Why did you call it their first full-length album and only gave us 7 new songs out of 13 that were promised? This shady nonsense that hype does really pisses me off sometimes. They're very manipulative this way. Another thing that's a big conversation around the album is, or just around the sserafim, is how much their concept and their direction is influenced by Rosalia and the amount of plagiarism accusations that have come their way. And I'm not gonna lie, those seem very reliable. Like, the parallels that people have been drawing amongst some of the stuff, I'm gonna link those articles below, you can check them out. But it is disappointing that there has been so much of an influence taken from her, and there should be more accountability for stuff like this in the industry. I mean, hype you can't expect stuff like this from them, so you know that nothing's going to come out of it. But there is a lot of accusations that seem to be very credible about plagiarism. So overall, this album has been pretty mid. It's got some great songs. If this was any other group's album, I would probably say that it's really great, but coming off of the Seraphim's amazing debut year, this has been a little bit of a disappointment. The album, the promotions, the plagiarism accusations, the horrible album design, let's talk about that, how ugly the album looks. There are some aspects of it that have really tainted this release, but there are some great aspects of it as well. Like, some of the songs are nice. Fear Not is such a monumentous song to get like close to their 1 year anniversary, so there are those aspects of this which I enjoy. But yeah, overall I'm not as happy as I was after the release of the first 2 mini albums, so yep, a little disappointed if I have to say so. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. Share your thoughts about the album. Do you like the songs? Did you not like the songs? Do you agree with my opinions on the songs? I know this album has left the internet pretty divided. I have seen like opposing views to what I'm saying, but also conforming views to what I'm saying. So there have been like extreme opinions about the album. But yeah, tell me what you think about it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what are your thoughts about it. And yeah, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you like a lot of the content that I make, then do subscribe. That really helps me out. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.